know, people like different things.
Yeah.
But so you know, it's not like I want to cancel Mr. Trot because you know you like it, fine, you like it.
What's your favorite Korean song? You like? Yeah.
Korean song. Jeez.
Some impressed song you ever heard, listened? Okay, pop song.
Quite like watching some of the videos sometimes.
Ah.
Wait a minute. Are we talking about, you know, young idols playing music video, or are you just talking about, you know, regular music video?
Yes.
That answered my question.
Okay, so we are ready. We have to wait.
I don't know what's going on.
됐어 이제. 아 힘들어.
But I'm actually glad to know there's another person
Thank
who
you
actually
so
appreciates
much.
the true art and not those junks they produce nowadays in the music industry.
Yeah, I find K-pop so formulaic. It's just all the same.
I
Sounds
know,
so
right?
similar to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
whole
about,
thing.
always about
Oh,
love.
totally
and
agree
If
on
I
that.
see the video, I can't tell who it is from their face. They all
Thank
look the same.
you.
Bro, same.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
They all come and go
They
so
all dress
quickly.
the
You know?
same.
It's
they all-
printing.
Same dances, same songs.
Same face
Yeah, but I mean,
from same
that's,
doctor.
the problem with that is that's the same with all pop
Not
music
unique.
all over the world.
Yeah, that's the sad
Yeah,
Even
it's
though
the same in Western
Blackpink-
too, they all look the same. They all sound the same
Yeah.
because the computers decided what is this song makes this style makes popular songs.
Yep.
애니스
Yeah.
They follow.
마이크 한 번만.
네. Mic check.
Yeah, well, I can
Mic
hear myself.
Mic Tetris.
네네네.
Is mine working well?
Ready?
Yep.
I guess.
Welcome back. Now it's time for part 2 where we're discussing media trends, and every week we talk about a different media trend, and we have our live show with Talk and Talk. We've been in the studio, we have Dennis and Tim. you guys
Woohoo! Wake
doing?
up, everyone at home.
I
Okay,
am wake
Sunday
up.
morning. Okay, Tim is wake
For
up.
once.
Unfortunately, no special guest this week. Last 2 weeks
Oh
we've had
really?
special
We
guests,
need
but
Youngji. Come on.
just the 3 of us this week.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. We need a writer. Youngji. No. Okay, I got it. All right. Sorry.
Wow, you're not satisfied with us? Now you're too good
Let's
for us
move
now?
on.
So how are you two guys doing?
You know, avoiding myself from
Still
COVID,
safe. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got to be careful.
escaping from all this stuff.
How are your kids? I don't send my kid to preschool.
No, yeah, they're all home.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the oldest actually came back from university,
Mm-hmm.
and she's sleeping until 3 in the afternoon, like a normal university student. And high school boy's just doing his online videos, and youngest doesn't go, just plays.
You know, the third grade of high school student, they go to school in the northern district. One of my students, he's studying in high school in Ilbo area. Okay, so I asked him, okay, do you go to school? Okay, yeah, we have to go to school because we are grade 3. Okay, so we have to prepare for this Korean SAT.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
really sad.
my youngest is first year, so
Ah.
yeah, he's. I guess he's still okay. Doesn't have to study too hard.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, hey, the situation with COVID-19 is getting worse, right?
Yeah, well, the last few weeks, yeah. I've got to be careful. Big spike.
Yeah.
Big spike.
Yeah,
And-
why do you think I'm wearing this?
You've got a big hole.
Ah,
Hey,
of course.
I have another one in my bag. They
And
actually
one
look like
more
a black
thing,
dot there, by the
most
way.
of the Gwangju moms they're really upset to the Gwangju City Hall's administrative kind of COVID-19 the infected cases the route right. So I just signed up kind of some special cafe, just online cafe, and their information is so fast. They're collecting
I
the
did
information
hear-
from Jeolla province too.
Yeah, I did hear about that. The mayor had to apologise for the slow rate it got
Slow.
released, right? Yeah.
Okay, you got alert message, right?
Mhm.
Every morning 5 times or 10
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
Okay, it's a little annoying, and yeah.
Yeah, the problem is it's almost too many. Right?
Yeah.
Stop reading them. But,
I mean, it's
defeats
better
the
than
point.
no information.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
is.
Ah,
better-
of course,
it's
of course.
better than no information.
Imagine if you're just quiet and have no idea what's going on. The terror.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Let's be safe.
Yeah. So, should we get into today's topic?
Of
Sure.
course.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about comments on the GFN listening rates and listening behavior survey.
Ah, so
So
interesting.
every year GFN conducts a survey, and the most recent performance evaluation of GFN pointed out that some things need to be supplemented. The result shows that it's necessary to establish a corner for language learning, such as Korean among English radio programs. Also, GFN is required to briefly inform the news of national and regional issues during a live broadcast. So, what do you think about today's topic?
Well, here I have kind of the survey report. Okay, let me summarize. Okay, and 86% of the participants says they are listening to the GFN. Just there's a one thing I have some curiosity. Okay, what are the 14%? They don't listen to GFN and they just participate in surveys. What are
They just love doing surveys.
All right. Okay, I got it. Okay. And yeah, and the almost 20% they're listening to GFNs of the survey participant, and then the other 20% they're listening to KBS radio, and then the 15% to NBC and the KBS 2 radio is 13%. Okay, so we are still on high, right?
That is
GFN.
fairly high.
Mm.
Yeah, I wonder how we got so high, actually.
Mm.
Maybe it's a bias.
Of course.
The people who listen to GFN might do
great.
the survey.
Too much attractive.
Whoa. It's obviously because we have a different kind of audience, KBS, NBC. I'm pretty sure they haven't taken a lot of portion of Korean audience, but remember, our show is for everyone. We are superior. And I'm not saying this sarcastically at all. Trust me.
I trust you.
Yeah, so like you said, we do have like a captive audience, you could say, like kind of different audience. So does the survey mention anything about who listens?
Yeah, here is hold on. Yeah, the GFN, the 20% listeners, the foreign listeners is 22%, and the Korean local Koreans is 17%. 17%. Okay, I think almost the same, right?
Right, so the foreigners were a bit higher, but
We-
kind of similar.
Yeah, US is popular to local people too.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that it's that similar. I expected the number to be far more foreigners than
You're right. Yeah.
Koreans.
Well,
Almost.
our passion for English education, right?
Well, yeah, that's true.
More like a parent's passions, but
Yeah.
it's same. Children and parents, they're like-minded, right?
Yeah, actually, I can see many people they are really interested in learning English through radio or kind of video format, right? So the GFN, yeah, it will be very helpful and it's very helpful, beneficial.
So do you think that throughout the city, there's children being chained to radios by their parents to listen to GFN?
This
Or-
is Korea we're talking about. That's a high possibility. What about you? Do you train your children to listen to our faithful GFN like a faithful GFN servant?
Of course.
Good. What about you, James?
Yes. Like,
Indeed.
Short answer. Short answer.
Yeah,
Well,
for
I
once, I'm
guess-
glad I'm not married.
my radio in the car is always on GFN.
Sure.
Always tuning in. Okay.
I sometimes listen to KB.
Was that was it your choice or your kid's choice?
Oh, it's my choice.
Mm.
My wife sometimes tries to change it.
Really?
Yeah.
You should have say, okay, that was my kid's choice. No, come on.
Oh no, my youngest wants her like nursery rhyme songs to be on.
Well, that's nice. See, you can always convince your wife saying, "Hey, children wants this, not me. It's children." That always works out for me anyway.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the percentage of the people and announcement here about the foreigners listening, especially, what kind of show they are usually interested on?
Yeah, here is actually the usual the listening time is 44%, and yeah, the popular time is around 7 to 7:50. Yeah, and they're using their smartphone. Okay, yeah, but they
So, sorry, when you say 7 to 7:50, that's PM.
yeah, that's PM, not AM.
Oh,
Unfortunately, okay, unfortunately.
Who's wake up at the time?
I
Ah.
wake up at 7 every day.
See,
I used to.
Sorry.
Holy bird.
I used to have to wake up at 6.
6. Wow.
But I used to. My lecture started at 7.
Oh, got it. All right.
Damn.
And you start your day with listening to GFN too, right? please say.
Now you're pushing it.
And yeah, here's really really interesting mention. Okay, here is they really liked 20% of listeners. They really liked kind of the song list. They really love. Okay, it's kind of brilliant of
Like
the
Viva
GFNs.
DJ,
Yeah,
huh?
Viva DJ kind of like that. And then 70% they just like to get a kind of just information. And then hey, here is for learning foreign language is 14%. 14%.
For foreigners?
Yeah. Yeah. I think for both. Okay. Yeah. We have kind of Chinese channel. Okay. Vietnamese channel, right?
Yes.
Okay. So they're really quite interested in the learning language, and we need get more language sections or Russian writing. Okay. You can speak Russian. Tavarish, right?
Ты говорите по-русски. So, we also have a lot of show about the Korean lessons, especially the one with the granny I know who
Yes.
usually talk to me and sometimes even ask me about is this the right dialect for Jeolla province. And those shows are also particularly famous, not because of a language lesson inspired necessarily. I mean that is good too, but it is because it's funny.
Yes, it's a very good show. I do like listening to that.
Technically, from the report, there is no Jeolla provincial dialect show in the rank. The first place is the Morning Gwangju.
This morning,
Yeah, sorry, this Morning Gwangju. Who's the host?
Alex.
Alex. Okay. It's a 17%. The second place is
Well, I should imagine that's because it's on 8 to 9.
because
This
of
morning,
time, right?
it's,
Okay.
everybody's driving and listening to the radio. I should imagine.
So it means that maybe our show can move to that
No,
time. Okay, we can be the first place.
look,
Well, yeah, maybe, but
Mm.
yeah,
you
Sunday,
gotta get
Sunday morning.
priorities.
Come on!
Come on, you gotta get priorities straight, all right? Radio and news's primary function is to provide information, not to have a podcast section where we talk about a bunch of random topics. That's for weekend.
That's very helpful to live in this society, right?
Yeah, but I think our show, where, like you said, we do just talk about some topic.
Mm.
Yes.
That is a weekend type thing.
Yeah.
It's,
See?
And we have
it's
a
not a
magic,
drive time.
See, there's the voice of reason here.
Okay, all right. Just I couldn't. I can see where is what's the place we are in. Okay, maybe the last.
Well, I'll give you some time to check
Mm.
while we have our song break.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay, so let's listen to our song, and it's Tim's request. Do you want to
It's a Safe and Sound by Taylor Swift from Hunger Games.
Here it is.
Hunger Games.
Yeah, nostalgic, eh? Remember when those books and movies were popular?
I do.
Here's the next section. I want to just mention just a recommendation, regional recommendation.
Well,
Reference.
that's what we can get into in the 2nd
Mhm.
half, right? The recommendations of what we should do.
Mm-hmm.
So we can start the recommendations.
Recommendation.
How many do they give?
Hold on. Just the reasons of recommendation is three sections, just interesting story and just a song list and just learning language.
Sorry, one more time. What was that?
Okay, the 18% is kind of just interesting story. Wow. Oh. And
Someone's angry today.
Someone
18%.
Someone doesn't like stories.
actually the first place 18%, 18.7%, and the second place is kind of 18.4% of the song.
songs.
Yeah. So and the 16.6% about the kind of language learning.
I wonder
Yeah,
if we're
learning
still
language.
filming that thing.
Yeah. And,
So people cannot hear us, but looking at us taking notes and stuff.
Oh, they can hear.
And one more thing, that for foreign listeners, they're really in favor of the introducing the Korean culture.
Korean culture.
Yeah, that's the main. And for local people, of course, learning language. Over half, they have a really good positive opinion on that learning language.
So that was Koreans.
Yeah, Koreans for Koreans.
Right, okay.
And yeah.
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so let's keep talking about today's topic. So I thought maybe what we could start this half with is the recommendations we heard. So
Really.
you want to introduce some of the recommendations the survey makes?
Okay, just we got some research from this survey section, and here is the why people just wanted to recommend or just refer to their that GFN to their just who just kind of they know, and here's the first place 18.7% because of the interesting stories. Interesting. Some stories are really interesting. Content is really good. Okay, talking is really goes smoothly and easy listening. And then the second place takes almost same as the first place, but 18.4%. They really love the GFN because of the music section, right? Songs, right? So they would like to just recommend the GFN show to their friends. And then the last one is 16%. Almost, I think there's not much difference between among the first or second, but there's a language section, learning language. Okay. There are the three sections. Okay.
Right, so those were the three most popular things about GFN. So that's interesting. The stories got the top. I like that. Yeah, the songs is a good one because GFN is one of the few places you can listen to songs, foreign songs.
You're right.
And what I mean by that is you can hear foreign songs on Korean radio, but it tends to be older ones.
Yeah, sure, foreign songs. I was totally awake. Yes,
Yeah.
go on.
Or so they either play
Modern.
60s, 70s music, or they play only the most very famous singers from now. So if you want to hear like indie songs or less famous people, you just don't hear them on the Korean radio.
Yeah,
But
that is
GFN
quite
with
true.
the drop with Dano,
Yeah, you're right.
it's a
Drop it
great
down.
place to listen to new songs that you may have never heard before.
Different kinds of songs.
Yeah. He's very good at introducing lots of different kinds of music and lots of artists that you may not know.
Maybe in the next surveys we can just put on that kind of section, just by programs, right? Which songs, right? Like, we can get more information and we can move on, right? It's good. All right.
I mean, we already have a Viva DJ, so maybe we can expand on the program to, introduce more indie songs or some of the other small artists. Because let us be honest, nowadays big industry musics are not really appealing, except to the hardcore fans who's been, really following those idols or, groups that they really like. So I think the new fresh air of introducing some other groups and also partially advertising them might actually help us in the long run. We might find ourselves a new coworker or new partner to actually work with in the process. Who knows, right?
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I do like listening to the drop with Dano.
Yeah.
Is one of the things about living here is I don't get the culture, so I don't get introduced to new people, new music from home. So sometimes I talk to my friends from home and they'll mention somebody. I'm like, who is that? I have no idea who they are, but they're hugely famous in the UK. But with Drop with Dano, sometimes I do get to hear about them because he'll introduce that music to me.
Yeah. And here are some suggestions too. Okay. Most of Japan kind of survey participants, they just
Is it going to be another long
they're
list of
saying that
numbers?
content is really good of GFN. That's kind of 31%, and the variety of the programs is almost same to 31%. Okay, I think the one of the GFN's kind of the strengths is kind of you have a variety of the programs and variety of the colors, right? And in language and culture, right?
And beside a survey from my personal, investigation on the, GFN YouTube channel.
Oh, it's so scary.
Just because I'm wearing a mask does not mean I'm some kind of scary dude with a kitchen knife in his hand. Sometimes I do. That's beside the point. According to my personal investigation, when I actually start browsing on the GFN YouTube channels, I start realizing that these videos and the programs that are focusing on traveling around the like a market area or some new area around Jeolla province to venture around new restaurants and new food is also very popular among our viewers. I cannot actually say what is the geographic of the viewers because obviously it doesn't show.
Yeah, it doesn't show.
Yeah, it doesn't really show, but it is certainly very popular to the both people from that are Korean and not Koreans. I mean, who doesn't like food?
Well, yeah, you're right. That's the trend, and we need to stay current.
Yeah, not to
you're right.
mention most of these shows actually include foreign hosts who's usually not really friendly with the culture or the marketplace they're going to. And I think it is a really great experience for the other listeners. I mean, this is still part of our GFN radio station, right? The YouTube channel. So expanding on this part is always a good idea because if anybody learned anything from mukbang trend that has been happening ever since last year, is that people really love to see the delicious food and their sound. Wouldn't you agree, James?
Well, yeah, I mean, I do, but I wonder whether a lot of the popularity of those videos is, when people come to the new country, it can be a bit overwhelming, and I hesitate to use the word scary because it's not scary, but it feels difficult to go and experience new things,
You're right.
especially when you're on your own.
Mm-hmm.
So when you can watch a video of somebody going to the market, it gives you an introduction
It
into
will be
that.
really helpful.
So then the next time when I can go, well, I can do that because I've seen the video of the person.
Fully encouraged.
Yeah, because now they're much more familiar with the surrounding.
Yeah,
And now he
exactly.
can go to the place and say, hey, this is the place I saw from the video. And I really, thought that host was enjoying that food. Maybe I'm gonna find out what they actually taste like and be disappointed and never trust in the commercial and advertisement again. I mean, they gonna have a great time.
Okay,
Right?
so let's move on a little bit and let's talk about what recommendations can we make for GFN to, based on these results.
Well, yeah.
What should we do?
More recommendation here is did I like to recommendation? Hold on. Okay.
Don't read it from
Oh yeah,
Well,
here it's great.
one of them was language learning, right?
Yeah, language learning.
So I think, which if I remember correctly, was the most popular one. Well,
Most popular one is interesting story.
Well, that was the things they liked.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking about recommendations, right?
Yes. And you don't need that for recommendations, sir.
So
You
it's
can-
something we. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
you, but
no,
it's
it's
something
alright.
we've talked about a little bit before on the show is how to do language learning on the radio, and my problem with not just GFN but all language learning on the radio is it comes in two forms. It's either ridiculously easy, or it's someone saying some new phrase very fast twice, and then it's gone.
Oh.
Right? And
That makes sense.
I can't learn a whole sentence in Korean after listening to it twice. It's just impossible.
Oh.
And I think that's possible for most people. So I'd like to see some middle ground.
Middle ground.
Right? But I think GFN could do things for everybody. Right? So one of the issues with the foreign community is that we have a great turnover. Right? So you get people who come for a year and leave. And we've always got new people coming in. Right? So I would like to see some show for them, right? So some show that could introduce very basic and very simple Korean expressions.
Yeah, of course.
I would even say starting with 안녕하세요. That sort of simple. And then we
For
should
the
have
baby word, yeah.
yeah, then we should have some middle ground where we're starting to talk about more difficult things, but it needs to be in an easier to follow style, right? And then we can have the more difficult ones for the people who are almost fluent and they want to learn some new Jolanamdo expression. And I think we should do all three.
Yeah, 3 sections: beginner and mid, and kind of export or the popular expressions.
Yeah, and I don't mean in one program. We could have a different programs dedicated to all three. But yeah, what you guys think?
All 3 separated, right?
Yeah, separate together.
And listeners can choose, right?
But there
I think
should
that's
be.
a good
Yeah,
idea.
that's my problem with the language learning. What do you guys
No, I
think?
think you're actually pointing out very good things. Like sometimes I also watch this Korean language show, and they're usually helpful. Like you say, some of them are very easy and very easygoing, and sometimes some of them doesn't really provide context or information to actually learn those new phrases or new other kind of expressions properly, and that is true. And since GFN already has a YouTube contents going on, maybe making that contents on a video format is more useful, because in that case, unlike the only listening from the radio, you can actually pause it and repeat it many times
Exactly, yeah.
until you can understand.
Now GFN does do this for English. I don't know if you've ever seen those YouTube shorts. I'll call them shorts. Alex, who's the host of This Morning Guangzhou,
Yeah.
he does little introductory videos where he will take some topic and then give 4 or 5 expressions, English expressions about them. And it's on the show, so it's on the radio, but it's also on YouTube. So that would be very helpful too.
Yeah. See.
Something like that, but in Korean.
So we can learn the learning Korean format too, right? Just like as this morning Gwangju and Alex did, right? Oh, that's really good. Okay, all right.
Well, this morning
But
Guangzhou
but
is
just
not
learning-
educational.
Only learning phrase is just helpful, and just we have to make some principle to how to make the
Yeah.
sentence of Korean language.
Well, that brings me to my other point, is I would like some companion with it on the website. So the expressions that are gone through on the show are typed out
Yeah.
in English and in Korean
Yeah.
on the website. So, I can follow along either looking at the website, or in the future I can go back and look at it and remind myself about these expressions. I can see how the grammar and the sentence structure works from that.
Really good point. Okay. Always your language has a kind of different background side, right? English background and Korean background is totally different. Right? We have to think about it.
Okay, so I think we've got lots of more suggestions, but unfortunately we've run out of time.
Yeah. Good suggestion.
Yeah, so that was all for our Talk and Talk segment with Tim and Dennis discussing media trends. So thanks for coming in, guys.
Always my pleasure.
Stay
Always.
safe, guys.
Stay safe. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Let's go.
Dennis' camera is that way. Where were you looking at?
Woo. Take care, bro.
Yep.
Take care, bro. Be safe.
수고하셨어요.
It really hurt today.
고생하셨습니다. Let's go.